Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Australia. The local time here in Sydney.
So I'm currently at Sydney International Airport. I'll be catching 2 flights to get myself to Vancouver via Haneda, Tokyo. There are only 3 flights departing in the evening. You can really see how the coronavirus has impacted the travel industry. These gate lounges used to be populated by travelers, but now they are just eerily quiet. Most shops and restaurants are closed with a few exceptions, such as a pharmacy and a convenience store. This bar on your left used to be a famous spot for travelers to wind down before their flights. With a huge reduction of demand in international travel, there is no need to fight for a spot in the food court anymore. Face coverings are also strongly recommended within the terminal. All airline lounges and cart lounges are also forced to close. This area of the airport used to be chaotic. And this is the aircraft that's going to take us to Tokyo tonight. It's an all Nippon Airways 7879. There weren't really a lot of people in this flight, so I've got the entire row to myself. There's a pillow and also a blanket on every seat. The seat back is also pretty standard. You'll find a touch screen, a remote control, foldable tray table, and also a seat pocket. Within the seat pocket, you'll find a headphone, a sickness bag, and also a safety card. And the magazine is temporarily removed because of coronavirus. Underneath the screen is an earphone jack and also a USB plug. At 34 inches, the seat pitch on the aircraft is very generous. On each armrest is also a sticker indicating the seat number. And this is also where obviously the seat recline button is located. The seat also comes with an adjustable headrest with neck support on both sides. Face masks are also mandatory on ANA flights. A footrest is underneath each seat, although I don't think it adds too much comfort to the general experience. Boarding didn't take long, and then the safety demonstration video was played, followed by a timely departure. We were then cleared for pushback and startup. After takeoff, a video was played and showing us that they have performed all the safety measures to prevent the spread of coronavirus on the aircraft. The window on this flight also was unlocked, because it would be dark outside throughout the flight. Now let's have a look at the in-flight entertainment system. First select the language, then you'll be taken to the home page. The system pretty much has everything you need for your flight, so let's start off with looking at the flight map. And now we're looking at the route preview for this flight. You can always change the mode of the flight preview on the sidebar just next to the map. As for movies, they are divided into different categories. The Hollywood section contains the most movies, but I failed to find the one that I really like. One function that could be useful is in-flight messaging. If you're flying with someone but they are not sitting next to you, you can make use of the function and stay connected with your friend. Some red lights were given out to passengers before meal service began. Mood lighting was also turned on, which is more gentle to the eyes. After about 45 minutes of waiting, meal service began. If you're eager to know what kind of meal will be served on your flight, you can do a search on the official website and you'll be presented a PDF file of all the meals being served on a particular flight. Before meal preparation, the cabin crew would come out to the cabin and take your order, so they know exactly how many meals of each option to prepare. And to me, it's such a weird sight seeing airlines still using metal cutleries in economy class. I then picked a movie to go with my meal. And a cup of green tea to wash down my dinner before I go to sleep. The lavatory doesn't really look really different from what you'll find on other airlines. But there is a feature that's very Japanese. And that's the cleaning function of your backside. There wasn't a second meal or breakfast being served on this flight. Instead, a snack bag was given to each passenger before the lights were out. And that was the end of my first journey. For passengers with a connecting flight, they will be asked to show the boarding pass for the onward flight, and they will be given the transit card and show it to the security at the transit area. Because of coronavirus, foreigners will not be allowed into Japan, and you have to stay within the terminal. As it was still early in the morning, there wasn't a lot of passengers in the terminal, apart from those who were transiting. And here's also where I started my 16-hour layover. You can make use of the various charging spots throughout the terminal, but do take note only the Japanese power plug is available, so you need to prepare your own universal power outlet. Make yourself comfortable with these massage chairs. Oh, I wonder who would pay to use this when there's free internet throughout the terminal. Well, this is something that I'm gonna definitely invest my money in. And of course, don't forget to try out some genuine Japanese cuisine. Then for the rest of the time, I mainly walked around the terminal and also do some plane spotting. Not really a huge terminal to walk in, so there isn't really much to do. After walking around the terminal for about 1,000 times, it was finally time to board my final flight to Vancouver. Somehow I lose the footage of my dinner, so I paid for what's called a paid exclusive dining experience, so you're basically paying for the business class meal. When making a reservation online, you can choose between a Japanese or Western option. I had some decent rest on the flight and it was sunrise when I woke up. The window wasn't really locked on this red-eye flight, which is quite unusual. Anyway, the lights were being turned on for breakfast. I have to say the Japanese way of packaging is really adorable. The breakfast box contains some fruits, a milk pudding, a pack of biscuits and also a sandwich. Beverages such as tea and coffee were then being served. Not long after meal service was finished, we started our descent into Vancouver. It was nice and sunny before we penetrated the layers of clouds, but it's not the case afterwards. It was rainy and gloomy. As this was my first time flying to Vancouver, it didn't really give me a good impression. Anyway, this is my first time flying with ANA, and it has given me a very positive experience, as this is the only airline that has provided me with such great comfort even in economy class. If you fly into Asia in the future, I would totally recommend this airline to you, as opposed to flying with any US carriers. I hope you've enjoyed this flight review, and stay tuned to my channel, as I'll be doing some more domestic flights within Canada in the future. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you also like reading written flight reviews, then don't forget to click on the link below. That would bring you to my Patreon site with all my flight reviews in it. So this would be the end of my video. Happy holidays everyone, enjoy Christmas and have a happy new year. See you next time.